Yes.
Yep, 7 o'clock.
7:01.
All right. Good evening and welcome to the September 19th, 2017 meeting of the Town of Wareham Board of Selectmen. May we have a roll call, please?
Present. Selectman Scasiotti, Selectman Whiteside, Selectman Slavin, Selectman Tropiano, Town Administrator Derek Sullivan, Town Council Richard Bowen.
Okay. I guess I'm not here, but that's okay. Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay.
Mrs. Connaughton, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Sure, why not?
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, announcements. Actually, I'm going to lead off with this one. Yesterday, we were informed by Representative Susan Williams-Gifford that Mass DOT is leaning towards the option of creating a new station in Middleborough and using that as the transit point from Fall River in New Bedford and hopefully the South Coast via a shuttle system heading north. I know there was local opposition in Middleborough, but Mass DOT owns the land where the station would go, and so I think they chose that. They said it would save, I think, 10 or 15 minutes off the earlier proposed transfer station in Bridgewater, and so that's why they opted for that route. So that's really good news for us. They specifically referenced the idea of a shuttle train going back and forth down to Wareham and possibly Buzzards Bay as well to do that. Yeah, I saw the announcement yesterday. I'm just summarizing here rather than reading the whole thing. So this is all pretty good. Now, it still has to go through environmental impact. There's going to be more hearings. You'll probably have a hearing here. There'll be a hearing in Middleborough. They'll have hearings in the other communities on the South Coast that would benefit from the train coming. But this is the direction that for now they've chosen. I think it's very promising for the town. Selectman Scasiotti, and we thank Representative Williams-Gifford for her advocacy in pushing for this, and also Representative Strauss of Mattapoisett, who's the chairman of the Joint Committee on Transportation from the House side, who's also been a very strong advocate for getting us commuter rail, so we're very grateful that these people are pushing. We're even more grateful that they're getting some results. Selectman Scasiotti, announcements?
Nope.
Selectman Whiteside.
Yes. Last Saturday from 10 to 12, 31 people helped pick up the trash at Little Harbor Beach. The weight was up from last year, but that was because of a couple of pieces of, I don't know, wreckage, I guess you would call them. Cigarette butts were down, but they still are a major, major, major source of aggravation, if not pollution. And yes, they are counted one by one and picked up one by one by the volunteers. The most disturbing thing that we found were 3 bags of poop. There were several other pieces of poop in the grass and on the parking lot and stuff like that. But really, you take the time to bag the poop and then you leave it in the parking lot? Give me a break.
What species?
Feces.
No, what species?
You
of
don't
feces?
really think I was going to figure it out, did you?
I don't know.
What species? Feces? You nut. So this Saturday from 10 to 12, I expect to see all of you at Onset Beach. See if you can top 3 bags of species feces. I can't do it. I want to thank Mr. Barriolt from the high school, who had one of his classes out the other day, picking trash up on Main Street as part of their class. I did stop and offer him some gloves, they already had those, a bottle for sharps, they did not have that, and my 3 grabbers. They had about an hour-and-a-half period where the high school has taken an interest in proving that citizens are made out of students. So I did stop later on in the day and get my grabbers back. I don't know how much trash they picked up, but they were getting an education in what's left on Main Street. That's it.
Never mind.
Okay, I'm sure you have a folder?
He
No?
does.
Yes. Yeah, it was a lot of fun on Saturday. I think we had condoms, needle. Actually, the poop we were taking and flipping into the grass, if you remember.
No, you were putting it in the bag. You were making me hold the bag open for the poop. Actually, you were making your wife hold the bag open for the poop.
Well, that was
What kind of a marriage is that? She follows you around with a bag and you fling poop at her?
Yeah. I didn't miss.
This all sounds very German to me.
No comment.
Wait till Saturday.
You're not gonna be there.
No, Saturday.
You're not gonna be there.
Yeah. Holiday is Thursday, Friday.
I thought you told us you couldn't be there.
No, that's the following one. That's Swiss speech.
Oh, rats.
Sorry. So I still got the chance to throw poop at you.
Come
First off, we lost a really good person in the community. American Legion was involved with the Congregational Church, etc. Johannes Wagner worked for actually Sampson and I forget the other part of the company and stuff. And he basically was dying, which none of us really understood, while the event, the wall was going on, while he was sitting there being a master of ceremonies, etc. Took a lot of strength to do what he did, and he passed away about less than 2 days ago. So I'd ask for a moment of silence for Mr. Wagner. Thank you. Wareham Village Association has some events coming up. I'll just read what the events are and the dates. I have no description or anything else to give you at this point. Hopefully they'll come back when they come back to see us in a few weeks. There's a Scarecrow event on 10/15 to 11/1. Judging will be on the 28th and 29th of October. Oktoberfest train will be Saturday, 10/21 from 4 to 7 p.m. Trick or Treat, which obviously is Halloween, Tuesday, 10/31, 3 p.m. Christmas parade Saturday, 12/2, 3 p.m. I believe it says new route, which must probably be a new route for the actual parade. That is all I think I really have this time.
Okay. I guess our tropical storm is more or less fizzled out. It's not expected to be much tomorrow, but there is another storm in the Caribbean. So pay attention to the weather forecasts. And don't be fooled by the fact that most storms tend to move off the coast. All you need is the one storm that doesn't to create havoc. Now's a good time to put away your lawn furniture and stuff that you're not going to be using in the fall and the winter anyway. So I would suggest everybody just tidy up their properties this weekend, just for that reason alone. Let me see.
Can I just add to that?
Yeah.
Because of the drought for the past several years and the 2 years of gypsy moth infestation, many trees that align our roads they're goners, okay? So they may be on somebody's private property. They probably are not on town property. But if and when they all start coming down, please understand that municipal maintenance will get there when they get there, and so will the power company, and so will everybody else. Please don't clog up the line saying, oh, I gotta go to the grocery store, because you really don't have to.
Could you do that again?
I could.
Please don't. Citizens' comments, please. Anybody here to speak to the board tonight? Wow, seeing none. We'll move on to appointments, reappointments, interviews. Open Space Committee. Peter Gold. Come on up.
Miss Sandy not saying anything. A fan club.
I know.
Have a seat.
Have a seat.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, I got two things for the housing authority on the line. Give me a second.
Oh.
Yeah, way at the bottom. Two of those, I think that's right. Okay, we have an opening on the Open Space Committee. Peter Gold of 15 Third Street, Onset, Mass. has applied for the position. Why don't you say hello and tell us what you
Hi,
are?
everyone. Hi, I moved here a year and a half ago, and really one of the reasons I came here was because I like the physical environment of Wareham, and I think it's important to volunteer and take part in the community. So I wanted to volunteer for the Open Space Committee.
Okay, thank you.
May I ask?
Yes, questions?
How many meetings of the Open Space Committee have you been to? Or how many meetings of any committee have you been to, Mr. Gold?
I've been to at least 2, maybe 3 of the Open Space Committee already. I've been to a couple of the Minot Forest Committee. You know, I've gone to the meetings, I've watched, I've listened.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Any other questions? Okay. Take a motion, please.
Motion to approve Peter Gold of 15 Third Street, Onset, Mass. to the Open Space Committee for a term to expire no later than June 30th, 2020.
Second.
Motion by Clerk Slavin, seconded by Selectman Scasiotti. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. It's unanimous, and tomorrow you can pick up your appointment sheet in the Selectman's office and then go down to the town clerk and get sworn in.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you for stepping up. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Next, licenses and permits. Yeah, we can get a couple of these done. Anyway, we have a request from Little Harbor Country Club for a temporary change of hours.
This could be signed. We'll talk about that. Over again.
Always put them in order when I get here.
Yeah, they're all, it's okay. We have a request from the Little Harbor Country Club, doing business as Little Harbor Country Club. 1 Little Harbor Road, Wareham, Mass. Manager Kenneth DeRenzo. And,
Rianzo.
all right, school teacher, is that me again? And it's for an event on November 10th, party of 30 people. Basically, will be over at 9 o'clock at night, and it doesn't give a time to stop, but that doesn't matter at this point. Under Acts of Control Act of Chapter 138, General Laws.
Okay, a motion from
Second.
Clerk Slavin, seconded by Selectman Whiteside. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. So that one's taken care of. Next, we have a request from Wareham Fire Department for the use of town roads for the annual fire truck parade on Sunday, October 15th, 2017.
Okay. We have all the permits required, all the sign-offs. I'll read it off. Make a motion to give permission to the Wareham Fire Department, in care of John Kelly, to hold a fire truck parade on Sunday, October 15th, at 11 a.m., beginning at Bessie Park and finishing on Main Street Fire Station. Permit is effective on October 15th, expires on October 16th.
Second.
Okay, motion by Clerk Slavin, seconded by Selectman Whiteside.
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained. It's unanimous, 400 in favor. Let's see, next up, request from the Wareham Middle School, care of Nicole Starmer, for the use of town roads for the annual Readers Become Leaders 5K walk on Sunday, October 15th, 2017. Will they be getting in the way of the
We have
fire
a-
trucks?
We have, again, all the paperwork, all the departments have signed off.
Yep.
So I'll make a motion to give permission to the Wareham Middle School, 4 Viking Drive, Wareham, Mass., for the use of town roads for the annual Readers Become Leaders 5K race and walk. It'd be a walk for me. From the Minot Forest School to Great Neck to R.D. Stillman Drive and back to Minot Forest School on Sunday, October 16th, from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m.
Second. I just want to say that this is done every year, and one of the things that's really nice is that we have at least 3 citizens who regularly pick up R.D. Stillman Drive, and yesterday the gentleman was also picking up Great Neck Road. Yes. And there's some of us who are crazy enough to do it as well. We have kids who are going to be walking this route, okay? Take 5 minutes, take 22 minutes, take a bag, take your gloves, and take your pickup sticks. Imagine if what we found on the beach is visible to children on the sides of our road.
It'd also be nice if you stop and just kind of say hello and thank the kids doing this, show them it's appreciated. Try not to run them over either.
Okay,
There's a motion and a second, Pete.
there is a second, okay.
Yes.
Motion by Clerk Slavin, seconded by Selectman Whiteside. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. That's it for licenses and permits. Next up, town business. Discussion with the Director of Inspectional Services regarding Seth Toby Road Solar Project. Come on up.
No bow tie.
Good evening, Mr. Chair of the Board.
Well,
Building Commissioner Dave Requena.
yep. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this project, whether any permitting was required, and what's going on out there, just for the public's sort of edification, I guess you could say. There's been a lot of questions about this, especially on social media, and we're just curious to know exactly what the status of the project is and what's happening out there.
Sure. So it did require building permits, and those were obtained. They had gone to conservation meetings, which at the time and now are the only meetings that were required for that project. The utility and all the panels are owned by a accepted public utility, Eversource. So in that case, they would fall under, obviously, public utility, and in the industrial use, in the industrial zone, that is an allowed use, and they did not require any special permits or variances in order to install the panels.
So they were able to do this as of right then?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Can I just ask?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before this actually was permitted, approximately what portion of the land had been cleared by by the owner? A rough estimate.
If I had to take a guess,
Mm-hmm.
I would say probably 75% of the land was already cleared.
So the
They
reason,
had to clear less than 8 acres, 7 1/4 acres, I believe.
so the reason people can see it is because the borderland came down. There was already a great big vacant space in there. Am I
It
correct?
was a big open field, but there was a row of trees along the road,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what blocked out the field. So when they cut those down, that's what gave the appearance that they had cleared the entire lot.
Okay.
Yeah, Google Earth shows a nice image of it, what was already cleared out beforehand, so.
It does, yeah, right.
It shows all the-
You have a question? Yeah.
No, not a question. I basically need to apologize to the town because I'm the one that made a lot of noise about this. And I had made an assumption, bad word to use in life, that they had gone before the ZBA because I thought it'd require a special permit, and they didn't have to go before the ZBA. So I'd just like to let people know I was wrong.
Yeah, well, no biggie. A lot of people were wrong about this one. Going forward, do you know of any steps other than installing the solar field that the company plans to take out there with the property? Anything, any view mitigation or anything like that?
We have negotiated with Conti Solar and Eversource to install a new concrete sidewalk, a new road swale, a berm, and a planting along the berm in order to hide all of the panels in the open field.
Okay, so people won't
Just
be,
for the record, was not required
right.
by them.
And I guess that almost brings us to our next item on the agenda, which is the performance bond. I know that we had hoped to get a longer one from them, but in light of the fact that they don't even need to go through the site plan review process or anything else, I think maybe we'll just accept what they've offered, or I'll ask for a motion to that effect.
So moved. The 1 year, $418,363. Dated August 11th, 2017. And to be 1 year. From Travelers Casualty and Surety Company of Hartford, Connecticut, for the work the contractor will be doing in the public way, which is what Mr. Requena has just described.
Yeah. Okay, we have a motion from Selectman Whiteside,
Second.
second from Selectman Scasiotti. Any discussion?
Just a quick note, even though I was wrong, basically, I'm still stubborn about bonds and stuff, and cash is king to me, so I'll be voting no, but that's just my own personal feeling, that's all that is.
Yeah, my comment would be is they don't even really have to do this, but yet they are, so I really don't care if it's cash, check, or credit card.
When's the last time you saw a cash bond in that amount?
I'm just from the old school.
So old that bonds were no more than $10, and they were probably in farthings at the time or something.
Bonds for bar mitzvahs.
Pieces of 8. Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained, 310, so that's taken care of. Thank you for your explanation on this. I hope people will now understand that they have the right to go out there and do it. And beyond that, they're actually going beyond any actual obligation to try to mitigate the view once it's completed.
That's correct, you're welcome.
Great.
Yeah,
Thank you for your time
Thank you very
tonight.
much.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Dave,
David.
because
Appreciate it.
I might bring you on the next contract negotiations. You beat them up pretty good. So.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Could we go to D?
There's nobody here from D.
Yeah. We could just go right down the agenda, I guess, because everything else is internal. There's nobody else waiting for us to... Oh, wait a minute. No, we have the housing authority, so let's do F.
Okay.
Come on up. That's you guys. No hiding. Okay, I guess you're here to tell us about the vacancy on the Wareham Housing Authority and what you'd like to do to fill it.
Yes, as you know, there's a vacancy on the board occasioned by the unfortunate passing of Rudy Santos.
Yeah.
Our statute, Chapter 121B, requires that we notify the selectmen and that the joint boards fill the position in accordance with Chapter 41, Section 11. So we had an application from Gene Connaughton, who, by the way, Rudy had spoke to me while he was still in pretty good health, and then again on his deathbed, suggesting she join the board. And I spent time with Gene in the office, reviewed minutes, our policies and procedures, control mechanisms and our subcommittees, et cetera, and what our functions, duties, and responsibilities are, and she still wants to step up to the plate.
Okay, then. So you didn't scare her off, then?
Tried, didn't work.
Quick, make the motion.
It was a joint appointment.
Yes, it is.
So you're in session now?
Yeah, so yeah, we,
Okay.
They can vote, then we can vote. Or
Yeah,
wanna vote
you
together?
guys make your motion and vote, and we'll follow up.
I make a motion that we appoint Gene Connaughton to the vacant seat on the Wareham Housing Authority.
I second it.
Term to expire. Term to
Term
expire.
to expire at the time of the next election. April.
Term to expire is Rudy Santos's term.
Okay, so it was an elected one? It's an
No,
appointed
I
one.
think it's Phil's.
You only appoint through the, you don't appoint for the term, you only appoint till the next election, I believe.
Election.
Okay, thank you.
Then she's got to actually run for this thing. Politics.
They didn't tell you that either.
Okay, so they voted.
Motion to appoint Gene Connaughton to fill the term till the next election for the Wareham Housing Authority.
Second.
Motion by Clerk Slavin, seconded by Selectman Whiteside. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400, unanimous on both ends. Congratulations. And thank you for stepping up to serve your town yet again, Gene. We appreciate it.
There appears to be several people in this town who don't know how to say no, and you're one of them.
Yep.
We're trying to twist her around to be a designee on the CPC, too.
Oh. Well then.
Or-
No, I've already been lobbied from the back.
But congratulations,
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
and thank you.
Thanks, Al.
Okay, now I guess we can go back to, we got anything else from
Don't
anybody
trash
else?
away.
Discussion and possible votes on town meeting warrant articles. This is to whether to recommend that town meeting pass the articles or not. I did speak with Selectman Tropiano earlier tonight, when he informed me that he wouldn't be able to come. He was okay with us voting on all of these except the sort of omnibus planning one. He wanted to discuss that a little bit in public, so I would hold off on that one. and we can decide with the other ones.
Can we just do the Don't Trash Wareham, the two quickie ones?
Why, what difference does it make? It's all internal, there's nobody here from anywhere to talk about these things.
Because we have a tendency to forget. Okay, we'll do it
What's
your
the
way.
tendency to what?
Nothing.
We'll go to the Don't Trash Wareham. This is I'll make a motion that we allow them to put the Don't Trash Wareham, carry community signs, et cetera, back up again. And I believe,
It's parks, playgrounds, and beaches only.
playgrounds and beaches. I don't have a time frame, but I think it was more than just 30 days.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Bob, I'm asking a back
The-
question.
Request permission to leave the signs in place permanently because many people who use our beaches and playgrounds are not aware of the policy.
Okay. That's the,
With that in mind, that would actually go to the town administrator more than us.
yeah. It's town property.
Ship it on over to the office.
All right then, because it's a permanent installation, it's not being done within the confines of somebody asking to put signs up on town property for 30 days, so
Yeah, it's-
he would have the say over that. So no motion required.
Yeah, we only have 30 days, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So that takes care of that. What was the other thing you wanted to take care of here?
The letters for the past community development block grants?
Yeah, they actually sent some stuff out when I was on vacation. It's just to close out the 2011, 12, and 13 block grants.
I signed the 2013, so you need to cover my signature.
That's fine. I'm going to actually meet just briefly with our consultant who's basically running the block grant at this point in time tomorrow and just go over them with him. He was curious to see what was in there, so.
I'll make a motion that we give the chairman the right to sign, execute the signature.
It's the chairman at the time of the grant.
I'm just saying chairman.
Okay. For clarification, it will be 3 different people. Second.
Yeah, we might have to chase people down, but I don't know about that.
Already did.
Okay, we have a motion by Clerk Slavin, seconded by Selectman Whiteside. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstain. It's unanimous. Get that taken care of tomorrow. Now we will go back to town meeting warrant articles. And I'd like to just go down these in order. You've got your grid sheets in front of you.
Could we do something that's unique?
Well, that kind of frightens me. Go ahead, what do you want?
I'd like to go backwards, because my name is Whiteside, and I was always at the last of the alphabet, and we always did things alphabetically, and so I was always last. So let's go 34 down to 1. How's that for a concept?
Okay. It's a strange one, but what the heck. 34 requires, this is the petition, Fund Director for Council on Aging. The petitioners have informed us that they will be withdrawing the article at town meeting, so there's no need for a vote on this one.
33 is the same.
33 is to hear reports. I don't know if there are any, but this is just a standard thing to hear reports from various boards, so
Move.
no reason to keep this off.
Move to allow them.
Move to recommend.
Move, recommend.
Yep. Motion to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Selectman Scasiotti. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Next is a housekeeping article, transfer of McKinney-Vento funds to transportation revolving account. This deals with funds received to transport special needs students.
Move to recommend.
Second.
Motion to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Clerk Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Establishment of a special education fund under Section 24 of Chapter 218 of the Acts of 2016.
That was explained. I will move it, recommend it.
Second.
Okay, motion by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Clerk Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400, recommend. Solar pilots. This is on here at the request of the Director of Accounting.
Of assessing.
Oh, assessing, I'm sorry. I said accounting, never
Yeah.
mind.
And she's still negotiating, but that one would follow the similar course as the last solar pilot we did, and it's with one entity.
I'd make a motion that we support that.
Second.
Okay, motion to recommend by Clerk Slavin, seconded by Selectman Whiteside. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Transfer of cemetery funds.
Move to recommend.
Can I get a second? Second for Selectman Scasiotti. Motion by Selectman Whiteside. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Revocation and adoption of Wareham Cemetery Rules and Regulations.
Move to recommend.
Second.
Move to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Selectman Scasiotti. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Wareham Dog Park. This is a CPC article.
Move to
Fund the dog park for $20,000.
Move to recommend.
Motion to recommend by by Clerk Slavin, second by Selectman Scasiotti. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, abstained, 400. Headwaters Replacement Housing,
Move to, again?
recommend, okay. Second by Selectman Scasiotti. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, abstained, 400.
I'm opposed.
You're opposed? Okay, so it's
Yes, sir.
310. Selectman Whiteside opposing.
And the reason I'm opposing is that they already have a chunk of our change.
Town Hall Auditorium rubber roof.
Move to recommend.
Second.
Motion to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Clerk Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. This is a housekeeping article for CPC, return unused funds from a project never implemented.
No.
No, number
The
24.
the
Oh,
law
that's right, the CPC bylaw clarification.
recommend.
Yeah,
Move to recommend.
okay, yeah,
Second.
skipped over that. Okay, motion by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Clerk Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Now, return unused funds from a project never
Move to
implemented.
recommend.
Second.
Okay, motion to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Clerk Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. 22.
Move to recommend again.
No, 22, dear, not 21.
21?
22.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Move-
I'm ahead of
move to
myself.
recommend.
Sorry. Second.
Okay,
Never mind.
motion by one of these people, seconded by the other. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right,
400.
now you can.
Now
go
I
for
can do it. Move to recommend 21 again and again and again.
Okay.
Second.
Motion to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Clerk Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. And just so you know, we did ask our state representative whether she was interested in seeing this on the warrant, and she replied yes with an exclamation point. Town,
That's the other
Excellent.
legislative members.
appointed town clerk,
Recommend. Move to
Second.
recommend.
moved to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Selectman Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Let's see. Authorized sale of 505 Main Street.
Move to recommend.
Motion to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Selectman Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Harbor Service permits, receipts reserved for appropriations account.
Move to
recommend.
second.
Motion by Clerk Slavin, seconded by Selectman Whiteside. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, 400. Stone Path Malt LLC tax increment financing agreements.
Move to recommend.
Second.
Motion to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Selectman Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Authorize town to borrow $200,000 from the MWPAT for septic loan
To
program.
recommend.
Motion to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Clerk Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. This is the one that, we've got amend Town of Wareham zoning bylaws on here twice. We would have to
No.
look and see
Yeah, because, yeah.
which one is which. Can you pull that up actually for us?
Yep.
Just give us a brief description of each article,
Um,
because one of them we're going to hold off on.
I think it's 15 we're going to hold off on, but I'm not sure.
Let's see.
I think one of them's the
14
solar
is
and,
the solar generation
okay, then we
bylaw.
will skip 15, and,
The other one's one that Patrick wanted to hold was 15, I think.
yep, so 15 is on hold until we have a full board. Let's see, 14, amend Town of Wareham zoning bylaws. That would be to add the solar bylaw.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Recommend.
Motion to recommend by Clerk Slavin, seconded by Selectman Whiteside. All in favor, say aye. Opposed,
Aye.
abstained, 400. Motion, this is article for an additional liquor license.
Motion to recommend.
Second.
Motion to recommend by Clerk Slavin, seconded by Selectman Scasiotti. All in favor, say aye.
Opposed.
Abstain, you're opposed?
Yes.
So that's 310. Okay, accept the provisions of Chapter 43D expedited permitting.
Move to recommend.
Second.
Motion to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Clerk Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Transfer from Special Revenue Fund to WCTV.
Move to recommend.
Second.
Second.
Okay, motion by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Clerk Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. PEG access and cable-related fund acceptance.
Move to recommend.
Fits right, 10, 11 actually go
Yeah,
together.
they go together, so in town meeting, we're gonna have to have those pulled at the same
Yep.
time.
Yep.
Motion by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Clerk Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Parking kiosk, except provisions of general laws, Chapter 40, Sections 22A, 22B, and 22C.
Move to recommend.
Second.
Motion to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Selectman Scasiotti. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. That's actually Chapter 40U, adoption of fines.
Motion to recommend.
Well, we don't have
What?
the backup on it. We don't have backup information on it?
That's just a catch-all that allows an expedited,
Okay,
what it
fine.
allows, I'll explain to the public, because they need to know this. What it allows the town to do is, when people don't pay their fines, instead of running to court to enforce them, you can actually add them onto the property tax bills and lien the properties in that fashion for certain types of fines.
Yeah, there's a whole hearing process for it.
Yeah, there
so
is, but if,
instead
bottom
of going
line
through
is,
the courts,
Okay.
it's here.
yeah, you do it here. You don't have to
Move it.
send your, department heads up to waste time in the district court and to get the clerk magistrate to buy the sob story and toss the fine. We can
Okay.
just
Thank
get the
you.
money.
Move to recommend.
Motion by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Selectman Scasiotti. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400.
No bonds on that, right?
No.
Bonds, oh, for God's sakes. You'll make sure they're cash if there are. Fiscal year 17 unpaid bills, I don't know if we have anybody, you never know between now and then.
Recommend if
Second.
applicable.
Motion to recommend by Clerk Slavin, seconded by Selectman Whiteside. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
400, opposed, abstained, whatever. Establish revolving funds bylaw.
Move to recommend.
Second.
Okay, motion to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Clerk Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Union contracts, there will be a couple, I think.
Move to
Motion.
recommend.
Recommend.
Motion to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Clerk Slavin.
Choose.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Budget adjustments.
Move to recommend.
Second.
Motion to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Selectman Scasiotti. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Transfer of free cash.
Move to recommend.
Second.
Motion to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Clerk Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Approve and fund the fall fiscal year 18 capital plan.
Move.
Do we know what that is yet?
No, they've gone, the capital planning committee had essentially an all-day hearing with the department heads. The capital plan is put together. However, as everybody knows, the capital plan is essentially the capital wish list. We have no money to fulfill, so as soon as we have free cash, that's when you actually pull out the bits and pieces you'd put on the capital plan for town meeting.
Motion to recommend based on what comes forward from the town administrator.
Second.
Okay, motion to recommend by Clerk Slavin, seconded by Selectman Whiteside. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. And budget transfers.
Move to recommend.
Second.
Motion to recommend by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Clerk Slavin. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. And that gets through everything except Article 15. So that was easy. Let's see, anything else? I think we've covered
48
that. Yeah, anybody have any 48-hour business? Selectman Scasiotti?
No.
Selectman Whiteside?
No, thank you.
Clerk Slavin? I have nothing. Do you have anything? Mr. Sullivan? Do you have any 48-hour business?
We did miss Mr. Bowen's bill for this round,
I thought it was going in next week.
so, all right.
We know what the amount, we can have a motion to approve in the standard amount. I don't care.
No, it's not a standard amount because he puts add-ons on.
Are there add-ons?
Yes. I mean, I don't know if there are, but it's not a straight number. It's always slightly different.
It's the same as last month.
Move to recommend
Second.
Recommend.
payment.
We'll think about it, Rich. Okay, move to approve the invoice by Selectman Whiteside, seconded by Selectman Scasiotti. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Let's see, Town Administrator's report.
You've already gone over it. Looks like, luckily, Jose's gone eastward of us. One of the biggest concerns about this time, though, is, believe it or not, if you have a lot of rain on trees with leaves, I know there's some that weren't eaten by the caterpillars, 30 to 35 mile an hour gusts can topple those. So, yeah, just be aware. Tonight and most tomorrow through Thursday is what expected to be the biggest impact. A lot less than what we saw before, but as always, be careful. Thank you.
Okay. Liaison and Initiative Report. Selectman Scasiotti, Selectman Whiteside, Clerk Slavin.
Yeah, just a few. I'll do as quickly as I can. The Capital Planning Committee did have, as Mr. Sullivan mentioned, their meeting this past Thursday. I was very impressed and quite happy to see that the department heads all had all the information presented, all the forms done, made it very simple. It's kind of discouraging to look at all the requests everybody has, but everybody's upbeat about it, knowing the situation as far as having funds to make it work. Obviously, we have millions of dollars worth of infrastructure, et cetera, but we keep trying at it. It was interesting to see Mr. Menard actually list out $9 million worth of road projects, because he has a system right now in place in order to purchase, I think is it reground asphalt, Eric?
The bid that we had out for our Chapter 90s and such, we put that, you have to go out to bid for that. It's now $59 a ton laid asphalt.
Yeah.
And that's the process, instead of cold planing it, where you see the machine that goes in and cuts down about actually 1.5 to 2 feet.
Yeah. It's just the pricing was such that it would really be nice if we had the money available, because I don't think we'll ever see this kind of price again in the future, but it's just where it's at. But unfortunately, the state of Massachusetts continues at the top level to only fund $200 million a year in Chapter 90 funds. They talk about 300, but it never happens. I was at one of my meetings, and in order to catch up and actually get the infrastructure back where it needs to be, the state actually has to basically vote approximately $700 million a year for the next 12 years to catch up, which obviously we're not going to see, so it's always a catch-up game, and the roads are the roads. So when you complain, please understand that the state does not provide us with enough money to pave the roads, and the taxes people pay do not even begin to cover any part of it as well. So that's one of the real problems there.
And then we looked at, with the pricing being so good, could we look at the main drags, as you call them, in town, the big main streets, get those done? You get them done, as you said, roughly about $9 million. We looked at bonding those for maybe about 10 years or such. We just don't have the revenue in to offset those expenses. But if we were able to get those done, now you can start hitting the side streets. And I think sometimes people ask us, well, that street was done X amount of years ago, and this one hasn't been done in 20 years. The main drags are, for public safety purposes, the ones that are either repaired or redone most often. So if we could have hit those, that's when you can start moving on to the side streets. So,
Just as a point of information, years and years and years ago, if I may, Mr. Titlebaum, to dig the road up required a road opening permit. I happen to live on a road that has been under construction or been shelled for about 2 years. And I'm sick of having to come to a complete stop to go over the metal things that are across whatever it is that they're doing. It is a main connector. It is noted on our road plans as a main connector. And I know that it is not the municipal maintenance department that is doing it. I have actually called the water department, and just making a comment.
Right, Dick? Yeah. I'll continue. We had, MMA does these legislative breakfasts in different parts of the state every year. We had one in Marshfield, actually, this past Friday. I gave Derek some information, a couple of things, but what was really interesting is the marijuana law rewrite that the state has basically adapted. I'm going to try and do this very quickly because everybody wants to go. What's happened as of now, effectively, they've expanded the Cannabis Control Commission from 3 members to 5 members. These people control all the rules, regulations. The governor, the attorney general, and the treasurer are all given 1 appointment and jointly appoint the remaining 2. The treasurer chooses the chair of the commission. They've also expanded the advisory board, which was 15 to 25 members. Permits allow anybody 21 years or older to legally possess up to 10 ounces, which is probably 4 times the size of my iPad. And cultivate up to 6 plants per individual, 12 plants per household. Changes and penalties for home growth and possession by individuals under 21 now goes from a criminal to a civil offense. It reclassifies other previously criminal offenses as civil, allows individuals previously charged criminally for offenses now civil to seal their records. And that's what's happening there. The local government's going to be limited in authority to determine zoning and other ordinances to regulate marijuana. Those communities which voted yes basically are really not going to be able to legislate as a no. Those that voted no can actually stop marijuana from being sold in their town. Again, depending what they did between now and June 18th. They changed the effective tax rate to 20% from 12, 10.75 excise tax, 6.25 sales tax. The local option was 2%, it's going to 3%. There's another little piece to that also. We have an agreement on our medical marijuana dispensaries. And what happens here is they cap the impact fee at 3%. Communities with established registered medical dispensaries, RMDs, that have agreed to pilot, which is payment in lieu of taxes or impact fees, above 3% of the gross sales, will have to renegotiate this rate within 5 years. So if we have with our particular thing, let's say it's more than 3% that we've agreed to, how we do it, within 5 years, we have to adjust it back. It prohibits smoking marijuana wherever smoking cigarettes is prohibited. And that was always interesting. And the state must construct an entire regulatory framework for the commercial marijuana industry by the time retail stores begin selling recreational marijuana, which is June of 2018. Basically, the Cannabis Control Commission is required to begin accepting applications on April 1st, 2018. And this is before Springtown meeting dates for many cities and towns. So the trigger dates basically is April 1st to accept applications, and on June 1st, retail dispensaries begin sales. The law allows the city or town to adopt ordinances or bylaws that impose reasonable safeguards on the operations of marijuana establishments, provided they are reasonable, practical. RMDs are no longer authorized to sell recreational marijuana without state supervision if regulations are not promulgated on June 1st. And the original law stipulated any city or town with an area previously zoned for medical marijuana could not prohibit recreational marijuana from being sold in the same zone. The rework law removes that section and simply says that a city or town may not prohibit an existing marijuana facility from converting if it is approved to do so by the state. And my understanding is that the medical marijuana establishments that are in place will, even though it's not written, it basically will get priority as far as getting a retail establishment license. And that's it. So that's where it's really at today. And the other piece, which really has to do with more administration, the Public Records Access Law that was passed has had some consequences for a lot of the clerk's offices in particular. I think there's a town on the Cape that has got 1,000 individual requests for records, which is just inundating the office there. And it seems as though there are some construction firms that are taking this law and submitting to every city and town requests for a project with basically every record from beginning to end, and it's, the Secretary of State, unfortunately, is supposed to rule on what they call, unnecessary requests, pestering, et cetera, over above normal. So far, the Secretary of State, Massachusetts, has not gone ahead and exercised their rights. So if you're looking for stuff for the clerk's office and they say they're overly busy, that's why. That's me.
All right, then.
I have some minutes to approve. I think these were the minutes that weren't posted with date correct. Motion to accept the minutes of June 20th, 2017.
Second?
Okay, motion by Selectman Clerk Slavin, second by Selectman Whiteside. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, abstained, 400.
That's it, kids. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Clerk Slavin, seconded by Selectman Whiteside. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 400. Good night, Ray.
Good night.
Good night, people.